kind of make one of my favourites and one of the first dishes I ever learned to make long time ago. It's a really cheap one to make, very simple, and it's pretty quick as well. I think quite healthy ingredients. So these are ingredients for today. We've got 1 onion, we've got tomatoes. We're not going to use all of these, but maybe 3 or 4 is good for this size. And we've got some spinach, and of course we've got the chicken over here. And the spices we're going to use today, we've got chili powder, cumin, coriander, and garam masala, turmeric, and of course salt and pepper. So you can see I've already mixed that already in the dish, just to make it easier for later. And then for those we want 1 teaspoon of each, should be sufficient for this one. So that's our onions cut, and you can see they're not too thinly cut. I like a little bit of texture, so you want them kind of medium size. And the next step is to then cut the tomatoes, and then we'll get that into a bowl, I think, just for organizational purposes. So the next step is to cut your tomatoes, and as you can see, again, not too thin. A lot of it's going to dissipate in the pan when it's cooking anyway. And yeah, looks pretty good already, I think. So for the next step, we're going to dice the chicken. And the size you cut it into, for me, doesn't really matter. This is actually quite a lot of chicken today. You probably only need about half of this for like 2 people, maybe 3 people. But I'm a greedy guy, and it won't go to waste. I think this is, if you do like a little pre-preparation, you can probably make this dish like 20 minutes from like cooking to eating. So I think this is a really good one to make as like a lunch. It's quite easy to make a large quantity of it. You can keep it in the fridge for a few days, the taste gets better. And yeah, just into pieces like this. Looks pretty good, right? Then after this one, we're going to cut up the spinach as much as possible. And then we should be ready to start cooking, really. Of course, once you get familiar with the dish, and if you're a bit faster at this type of thing than me, then of course you can do this and, you know, be cooking your onions at the same time. But I like to take my time. That's one. We'll skip ahead for the next one. You don't need to see me making a mess of the chicken. Now, if things have gone well, you should end up with something like this. So we've got the cut spinach, you've got your spices ready, tomatoes and onions, and of course your chicken. Now we're ready to start cooking. Quick, you can make this dish. I'm kind of video it from start to finish. So we've got first point, get a little bit of oil in. Get that round the pan. Bouillon. And then once it's heating up a little bit, we'll get the onions and tomatoes in. Get in there. Nice and lovely. Give that a bit of a shake. You can hear that sizzling a little bit. So I'll move that around a little. I like to keep it stirring so that the onions don't get stuck to the pan or they don't burn at the bottom. You want to keep it moving. Good. Then once they're starting to soften up a little bit, time to get your spices in. And that is that. Start mixing them around the pan. When it comes to the flavouring, the onions is actually the most important part, I think, because that's where your spices get absorbed into the onions, so it's very important. So you can see already like the onions are changing colour a little bit. Oh, quite a lot actually. Mix that in. So you see it's looking tasty already, I think. Smells really good. You'll find that out yourself pretty soon, I hope. Good. And then, once again, I've been quite lazy, so I'm just going to use a paste today. We've got a little bit of garlic paste. I'm quite generous with mine. And a little bit of ginger. To be honest, if you get the time and you remember, I think it's better to use the actual herbs. I usually use like 3 cloves of ginger of a good size, and about a square inch of ginger is good. And of course you want to grate them into the pan. But I'm a lazy guy, so I'm going to use the paste. And that already looks pretty good to me. You can see the tomatoes are starting to break down a little bit, so that's a good thing. And yeah, now that the onions are really softened up, tomatoes are breaking down, it's time to, that's right, time to get your chicken in there. Then you want to mix that in, share the flavour. Quite a lot of chicken. I like cooking with chicken. It's easy, quite difficult to burn. Of course, taste is really good. Get that mixed right in there. You can see the chicken's already starting to cook a little bit on the side. And just keep mixing, just keep mixing. To be honest, when I make this in the morning time for my lunch, I usually put it on like a low heat, and then I'm doing other things like getting my clothes ready for work, preparing my bag, maybe brushing my teeth. It's quite a good one for the morning time, I think. And looks pretty good, right? Quite easy. Oh, I got some on the floor. Don't do that if you can help it. Then I think the chicken's not quite ready. The outside looks cooked, but just to make sure, yeah, I see like pieces like this one. Obviously not cooked right, but this side looks like it's quite cooked. Sometimes when you mix with the spices it can be quite deceiving. So just to make sure, you give it a few more minutes after it's browned. But we're not too far away from adding our spinach now. Then I know spinach is not really a popular one, so if you don't like spinach, you can just finish it this way. You can add cream if you don't like to have it like a dry curry. But I think spinach is really nice in this dish, so even if you don't like spinach, I think you should give it a try. You might be surprised about how tasty it actually is in this dish. I don't like spinach, or I didn't, until I started eating this dish, so yeah, give that a try. Okay. I think we're pretty much ready for the spinach now. There's quite a lot of spinach it looks like, but it wilts quite a lot in the pan. Let's just get it in there little by little. Looks like quite a lot, but just keep mixing it in. Kind of get it down there. It won't be that big in the end. You can already see like the size of the amount of the spinach doesn't look like it's quite that much anymore, right? So that's a good thing. It absorbs a lot of the flavour. And then, now that we've made a bit more room, we can get the rest of our spinach in there. Then some people don't use the stalks of the spinach, but I think if you throw it out, it's kind of a waste. So I get the stalks in there as well. Why not? Especially when you buy the spinach, like 30-40% of it's like stalk anyway. We've got that in. And again, we want to mix that. Get it around, make sure that the chicken's not burning at the bottom of the pan. And that looks pretty good. So we're pretty close to being ready now. I'm absolutely starving today. There you can see the price is quite cheap. It's quite an economical dish. I didn't use a lot of expensive ingredients. Once you've got the spices at home, the rest of it's quite cheap. To say this one cost me around 600 yen. That'll be around $6. In England at the moment, maybe like £5 or £6 maybe less, maybe about £4. Quite cheap. Then Yeah, if we see the bottom there, we're also getting, you know, a little bit of juice as well. Not too bad. And I think that's almost done. I'm going to give it another minute in the pan, maybe 2. But yeah, pretty easy, right? Pretty quick. If you can't do this one at home, you didn't try hard enough. It's so easy. Oh my god, how easy was that to make? And how good does it look? Not so difficult, right? So the only thing to do now is to enjoy. Hello, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you can watch that, get some confidence, like I can make that. That's the intention of the video. And you know, something simple, something that's really tasty that you can enjoy time and time again. Yeah, that's it really. As usual, if you liked the video, let me know. Like the video, subscribe if you want to see more in the future, and leave comments. If you tried to make this and you've got questions, yeah, leave me a question. I'll get you when I can, as usual. And yeah, if you want to try to experiment, maybe adding some butter to it, adding cream. One I did before was adding coconut milk to make it a bit sweet. Yeah, anything you like, let me know how that goes for you. Thank you.